What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tony Scorpio, with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
This is episode 107 of the Climb Together podcast. I forgot to change my title and stuff again, but you know what? It wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't. So, this is a pretty decent, week to talk about here. We've got a couple things to kind of glaze over, I would say. The first and probably the most prominent being Super Bowl Sunday. For those of you that live under a rock or forgot, the Super Bowl was Sunday, and it was not the Bills and also not the Bills. So...
I mean, like, it's the Super Bowl. It only gets watched by, like, a third of America.
Yeah. But I think everyone knows that it's going on. Not everybody watches it. But I don't watch the game unless the Bills... I don't watch football unless the Bills are playing. And the Bills don't play in the Super Bowl, so I don't watch the Super Bowl. Go Bills. But I did watch the halftime show, and let me tell you, I personally loved it. I've been seeing a lot of like criticism about it, but I feel like ever since the Super Bowl started putting on like not the mainstreams of the world, you know?
I don't know. I could be wrong. I know, like, in, I think 2020, it was either 2022 or 2023, they had like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and Eminem there, and I think people enjoyed that one.
Yeah, but that's Snoop Dogg. Like he's like the most mainstream rapper.
I didn't hear a lot about that one.
I mean, like from like the older community, I think for that one, mainly because it was rap, whether they're like Snoop Dogg or not. I mean, some of them would be like, "Oh yeah, I love Snoop Dogg," but I really didn't like the performance. But that's just because he did that big commercial with what's the one cook there? What's her name? Fuck.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He was like he did like a big advertisement with someone, Snoop Dogg.
My favorite Snoop Dogg commercial is the one where he said he was quitting smoking.
Yeah.
It was just a smokeless grill.
Yeah. I think everyone remembers that. Yeah, so it was the Bic lighters. It was Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. That's who it was. Because different uses for, one for cooking and the other one for...
Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart.
Yeah, they did like the campaign. They did the campaign together, yeah. They were like everywhere. If there was a big poster, they were on it. It was like no matter what your... It was the easy reach ones. The ones with like the extended... It's like the extended mag of lighters. Martha and Snoop are good friends. I can believe it. I bet you they'd probably light up together. I can guarantee they do.
You think Martha Stewart does that?
Oh yeah. Come on. She might not do it a lot.
One of my other favorite Snoop clips is that clip that surfaced recently where he passed a blunt to the cop and the cop initially denied it, but then he like took it. It's like, bro, you have to take it.
They did the Olympics together? Oh yeah. I love seeing Snoop at the Olympics, man. This past Olympics, like he was going all out. It was great to watch because he was always wearing like different costumes and whatnot.
Isn't Snoop still like an investor in FaZe? Isn't he?
Like, think not anymore. Not since they did the whole like overhaul. I think ever since that
because I remember when he did this the Super Bowl,
he had a FaZe channel. Yeah, so that's one of the things is like that was what like all he did. He did like one video, the FaZe chain at the Super Bowl, and then he like never did anything with them again. But he was still like an investor technically. But I think since then, Banks got FaZe back, they kind of want to, if things change because I mean FaZe was bought out by GameSquare, so
that is true.
He probably cashed out, with that buyout, which would make sense, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I were Snoop, I would have cashed out too, and keep the really cool chain. But anyway,
Now that chain is defunct because they rebranded.
Yeah.
They changed their logo, albeit ever so slightly.
But still different. But I don't know. Back to the performance though. I thought it was really good. There was a lot of like, I was talking about this earlier on my stream, but there was a lot of symbolism. It was really more art. It was a performance, like an art performance, than just like a Super Bowl halftime show. I feel like there was a lot of like hidden messages in there.
The A minor chain is crazy.
The A minor chain was crazy. For, you know, Drake got dissed again, and his lawyers are definitely getting a fat paycheck this week.
Well, it's really funny, like, the whole thing that has kind of happened since Not Like Us came out, because a lot of people thought the beef was over, and, like, Drake dropped, like, a half-hearted diss track, if you want to call it that, because it seemed like when he dropped his own version of The Heart Part 6, he was, like, he was kind of just tired of it. Like, you could kind of hear it. But then, like, Kendrick goes on this whole Super Bowl run, but like in the midst of it, Drake dropped that lawsuit against Spotify and like the other music platforms, saying that they were pushing Not Like Us, but not pushing Drake's music or whatever. And then I think he realized that was a dumb lawsuit and a dumb argument, because he ended up reeling back the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And then all this stuff happened at the halftime show.
I mean, there's like the infamous pic. Let me see if I can find it. Where he just like smiles at the camera. He's just like,
dude,
say Drake.
That's great.
And then you got, you know, his like Drake's ex Serena like on there too. I mean, there's like more meaning to the performance all in all. I mean, the
Serena thing was crazy, because I didn't even know that was her. I knew I was like
that looks like Serena Williams, but like, is it
somebody prominent when they showed
just her
they were kind of
doing,
focusing in on her. But like the crazy thing that I've seen is like, apparently, you know, she had a thing with Drake for a while. People know that, but like apparently, like her brother got killed by Crips in like 2003 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see her doing the Crip walk at the Super Bowl.
Also, she did like, I think she did the Crip walk after she won a tennis match, and they like shamed her for it. I saw that too. There was like a clip. There's a clip and everything, so it wasn't just AI, but she like Crip walked after she won tennis. I don't know if it was a tournament or just a match, but she won. She did that, and then she got like a bunch of hate for it because it was too, as they said in the, you know, the Uncle Sam said like too ghetto, right? Their terms, not mine. But there was like a lot of like storytelling, and then like the American flag.
Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam.
It was great. And then, you know, like the flag that they made out of the dancers, and then the separation of the flag. You know, it talks about like our country's divided. I kind of took Kendrick being in the middle as that like art is like the bridge between the divide, personally. But
that's kind of true.
Yeah, because I think so. That's my take on it. Cause, and then SZA was there. Love me some. I mean, she was in my top 5 artists of 2024. I listen to her every single day. She is like just a goddess.
Dude, Kendrick doing Luther with her was great.
Oh my god, I love Luther. Every song that they do together.
They're gonna have that tour, so that was kind of like a sneak peek at what might happen on the tour.
Yeah, I mean they have that tour with Doechii opening, who just won. Doechii is opening for them, and Doechii just won Rap Album of the Year. like that is like gonna be a studded performance, and I want to go so bad, but I know tickets are so expensive. I do some things to be able to see that concert. I do a lot of things to be able to see that. So, but it was just so good overall. I mean, I really enjoyed it. The 13 minutes or whatever, 17 minutes that was.
I thought it was a fantastic show.
I think so too.
I was very intrigued as to what was going to happen, and that surpassed my expectations, to be honest. Like I loved him like sitting on the he was like on the GNX and like everybody came out of it. I mean, obviously there's no freaking way that many people could come out of that car normally, but it was still really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, you know, if you have the time, go watch like a breakdown of his performance. And, you know, he mentions like 40 acres and a mule. There's a lot of like ties to like, you know, like African American history in this country and just a bunch of different things. And I recommend watching the full breakdown of like the symbolisms and whatnot, because he really did. I mean, like a lot of these, you know, artists will just come and then they'll perform, but he really like used this to like make a stance. And I feel like that's very like Kendrick Lamar, just as like as an artist in general. He's always been a very good lyricist. He's always spoken on certain issues in his music and in his art. Like in my English teacher would like, we would study the symbolism within Kendrick Lamar's song in like English class in high school. So just because he's such a good lyricist, I was like, yay, we get to study rap in English class. But and then you know, people finally understanding that mustard is a person, and not just a condiment.
Yeah, I was waiting for I was waiting for there to be like a Heinz ad where it's just mustard.
They did a partnership. There's like a mustard and let me see this. Let me see if I can find
mustard
this
meme is great.
All right, let me.
I like that he fit that into the show.
Yeah, mustard, Heinz mustard times mustard.
Mustard is a great producer.
Oh yeah,
he's great. He's made a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, mustard. I don't know, man. Like these people are built different. We're putting out some good stuff, and I'm here for it. Yeah, here's the, if you can see it, yellow mustard times mustard, which I feel like is just like you just have to do. But I don't know. I think it was a great halftime show, personally speaking, based off of my like personal likes, as far as artists go. I feel like not enough people were hyped about the halftime show performance, but the people that got it. And
I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things where like if you knew who Kendrick was, or you liked rap in general, and
you enjoyed it,
you were excited for the halftime show, you enjoyed it. But if you didn't know who Kendrick was, or you didn't know that he was doing a halftime show, or you're not like a fan of rap anyway, you probably didn't like it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's probably expected. Like, I think Kendrick going into that knew that it was probably going to be a mostly mixed reception, and I don't think he really cared.
No, I mean, he was going to do what he's going to do anyway. I mean, he had an opportunity and he seized it. I mean, and I think it's like the most viewed. I think it beat Michael Jackson's halftime performance as the most viewed.
It did.
By like 0.1 million, which is a lot. It's 100,000 people. Another 100,000 people watched Kendrick Lamar, and that, I mean, Michael Jackson performed at the halftime show. Yeah, and so like that was like a pretty long standing. Why did I put the wrong? Yeah, so,
and I don't know if most people viewed that one for Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, like, His halftime show was 1993, so it was 22 years ago. No, 30 years ago. 32 years ago.
1993. That was forever.
32 years ago. So yeah, so it took 32 years for someone to break it, and it was Kendrick Lamar of all people. So I mean, it wasn't, Rihanna, it wasn't Katy Perry, it wasn't Coldplay, it wasn't Beyonce, not even Beyonce. It was Kendrick. And you know what? It happened. I mean, him doing this right after Not Like Us is just like, I feel like that kind of was what catapulted, because everyone was singing Not Like Us. I mean, like the Kendrick Drake beef was like throughout, especially like the younger generations, like they talked about it in school and, some other stuff. So, I think it was, I think this was.
What I thought was really funny is like Drake had a show on the same day, but he's in Australia because he's doing a tour in Australia. Like, that makes sense. Personally, I would want to be as far away from Kendrick as possible if I was Drake.
Yeah. So. I don't know. But it was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I watched it with my sisters. But I recommend watching a breakdown from someone about his performance, because it was more than just a Drake diss. It was really an America diss, if you think about it. But anyway, moving on to other topics, I guess. Let me actually keep this over here. What's been going on this week? So we've had some roster changes.
Just a few.
Yeah. We've had Pred come back onto Optic in replace of Hook. This happened literally the day after the podcast, as it always does. This was kind of a quick move. I mean, Scump didn't even know about it until like the night before. So it was a pretty quick move.
Yeah, that was kind of like the Luka to the Lakers trade. Nobody knew that it was happening until basically when it was happening.
Yeah. And then Hixie got released from Vancouver Surge. I think that's... Any other ones?
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vegas Falcons made a change, but is it going to be a good change? I don't know.
I don't know.
Are they going to win a series this time?
Well, I mean, hopefully. I mean, they haven't won a single series all... They're doing worse than the Breach were doing, Like, they haven't won a series all season. And that's just not... That's not okay. You gotta win at least a series. Excuse me.
They gotta get Clay in there. They gotta have him step in.
Just have him just carry the team. But speaking of, I don't know. Speaking of, and I'm not really. This isn't related really anything, but so the first ever Olympic esports games has been announced. So it's gonna be in 2027 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So we'll have our first ever esports games, and it's 2 summers from now, right? So let me think it like this, right? Deception.
It's gonna be sick,
don't ego check me on this one, but maybe, just maybe, we could get there as Scorpion Syndicate. I mean, it's 2 years away. A lot can happen in 2 years. Just saying. With the right mindset, right teams, right people. I mean, we've already got the right people in the right places, so I think.
If they have racing there, sign me up.
Sign you up. I feel like as time goes on, we'll have more and more details. But someone literally commented Fortnite would be epic, bro. Really punny.
The thing about the Olympics being an esports thing by itself is I think that they're gonna have a lot of shooter games there because it's gonna be completely different than the actual Olympics. But that was one of the big things about if they were to put esports into the regular Olympic games, it'd be probably Rocket League or something, because them broadcasting. I mean, I don't know,
They would have to pick the biggest esports in the world and then do those ones, you know, and like it would have to be like a test
but
run.
The problem is, I don't know if they would want to broadcast a shooter game on the Olympics, which I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe like
literally shooting is an Olympic sport, so
I mean maybe like Valorant, you know, like a little bit more PG, I guess.
I feel like they'd probably go with Fortnite, to be honest.
Fortnite, yeah. I mean, I feel like Fortnite, Valorant, like the cartoon shooters, for sure, I think would be better mainstream for that anyway. I mean, for the most part, not everybody watches everything in the Olympics anyway. Like, I only watch like 3 different things, and then occasionally, if it's someone's
watch basketball.
See, I watch swimming, I watch gymnastics, and then I'll watch like if like something else is on, but I don't like not watch. But if like something else is on, maybe I'll watch. Like I for some reason I always watch cycling. I never like I never intend to turn on the TV and watch cycling, but somehow every single time I watch the Olympics, it's cycling. I just unless I'm specifically turning it on to watch like swimming or gymnastics or something, like it's cycling, and I'm like, how many biking events are there to where all I'm watching is cycling? Like, I get like most of them, they're like doing this like all day, so
it's gonna be really interesting too, because like if you look at like the way that they're structuring this, it's every 4 years we're gonna get 3 Olympic Games in a row. Because we're gonna have the Winter Olympics in 26, these in 27, and then
28, yeah, 28. Summer Olympics. That's and actually pretty 4 nice.
Years, and then we'll have 3 more.
Well, yeah, we'll have a year off from Olympics. In Olympics, instead of 2, because it'll be or maybe like a year and a half.
A year and a half. And the crazy thing is, even in the years where there's not Olympics, there's a lot of qualifiers and like all that. So,
and I feel like this would really be. I think like this would help mainstream esports. I feel like this is kind of what we need, you know, as like a society, is the Olympic esports games to, you know, really show people like this is like it's like the nail in the, and I'm not coffin because it's not like we're killing it, but like we're killing the idea of that like esports isn't a career. And so like this is like the final nail in that coffin, to really prove to people that
if you can get an Olympic gold medal for it, I mean,
yeah, I mean like there was X Games, but X Games is like still like skaters and stuff like that, which at that point still was not really, sometimes is not really widely accepted as a career choice. A little bit more now than it was, but I feel like they're in like the similar spot.
Well, and what else is crazy is there are a lot of sports that are most definitely considered sports, and a lot of people watch them that just have only recently made the Olympic Games.
Yeah, like
golf didn't come until 2016.
Breakdancing, which is now back out thanks to the Australian breakdancer. You ruined it for everyone, my friend.
Yeah.
Because that was sick until you came on the stage.
The thing that I think is crazy is how we don't have any form of like motorsports in the Olympic Games. I mean, considering motorsports is huge in like as like a worldwide thing, and it's not part of the Olympics. Like, I know it's probably difficult because it's like you have all these different drivers that drive all sorts of different cars and things, and it's like, what would you end up settling on as like what be like, or would it have to be like split into different things? Would it have to be like everybody drive? Like, I don't know. It would be like kind of, I feel like it'd be a little difficult, but like I think it's crazy.
Hear me out. So you know how we're
not in the Olympic game.
You know how we have that year off, you know, because we'll have the Winter Olympics, the Esports Olympics, and then the Summer Olympics. The next year, we'll have a Racing Olympics, which will have all the race car racing
and now
ones.
We just have 4 years. We just have Olympics
one Olympic every year. It's just, you know, whatever one you watch. Because, like, not everybody's going to watch every single one, you know?
Well, and it makes me wonder, like, it makes me bring up the whole motorsports thing, because I feel like it's in the grand scheme of esports, it's like pretty small, but like sim racing is pretty freaking big. And like I feel like there's going to be some form of sim racing at the esports games. Like, I don't know if they're going to go back to Rensport like they did during the Esports World Cup. I don't know if they're going to use iRacing. I think they should use iRacing because it's the biggest one, but there's probably going to be some form of sim racing at the Olympic esports games. So I think it could raise a question about like, depending on how they do that, like, what should they do if they were going to put motorsports on the actual Olympics?
And like racing is like a really big thing too. Like, just like overall,
yeah, it's like that's why
it's
it
worldwide.
baffles me that it hasn't been part of the Olympics. It's like it's such a huge worldwide like thing.
Yeah.
Like racing is one of the only sports that just transcends the entire world. That everybody is just like, yeah, I would want to do that.
Yeah, or they watch it, like even just casually. I mean, I feel like racing, like like the diehards will watch on TV, but like when there's a race in town, like speaking from experience, growing up near a racetrack, like people go and tailgate those events. It's like part of the racing culture, I guess. Is like same thing with like football. I mean, I think that's just like American culture, like tailgating. Like we tailgate everything: birthday parties, sporting events, graduations, births, job promotions. We tailgate everything. But I feel like like that's like a big part of the racing stuff, like the racing aspect. At least NASCAR, that's just because that's what I know.
Well, I mean, the big thing about racing is like the fact that, I mean, at least in a NASCAR weekend, you've got multiple races usually happening on every weekend. So like, some people will show up on like Thursday,
and they'll stay all the way,
and they'll have like a camper or something, and they'll be at the track until Sunday.
Yep.
They'll watch everything.
Yep. And they'll be off their ass the entire time. They'll be like, "Woo, car! Oh, I can't move my head too fast, so I'll be dizzy and fall over." But yeah, like it's just like there's a big like core group, and they're grinders like us esports people, where we'll watch everything. You have like esports.
It's sort of the same concept.
Because most of the time we watch this stuff online, so when we get the opportunity to watch this stuff in person, we're gonna take full advantage of it. If we're gonna pay to go to an event, we're gonna watch every single thing we possibly can, do every single thing we possibly can at that event. And that's just like the culture.
Personally, I would love to see sim racing be a part of it because I love watching sim racing. I think it's great.
I think it would be a good addition.
On iRacing, because iRacing is basically like the closest thing to the real thing as you can get.
Yeah.
Than anybody's ever made. I mean, they go out and laser scan all of the tracks, so everything in the game is accurate to how the track is in real life and all that. So it would be sick if they had it, if they did iRacing.
Yes, it would. Reserve a spot for the Scorpion Syndicate Olympic Esports Board. Please and thank you. We'll be there, hopefully.
That's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they bring COD there, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, COD's got to kind of iron out some of its own creases before anything. I feel like, just like that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, what else has been going on?
Really hasn't been a ton besides all that.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty much like the main.
I mean, CDL comes back this weekend, so.
Yeah, it's true. Start on the matches for Major 2 section here. Hopefully, Falcons get their first win.
Hopefully.
They're going against Breach, LA Thieves, Cloud9, Rocker, Ultra, LAG, and Roy Ravens. So I feel like their best bet would be
LAG's probably the best bet.
Yeah, maybe Breach. I don't know. Maybe. I won't say maybe, but their best bet is definitely LAG. So hopefully they make something happen, or they're kind of screwed.
LAG have been notorious chokers this season. So yeah. I mean, I feel like even if LAG threw the series away, they could get a win against LAG.
Yeah. What else is going on here? I don't know. I just kind of been
I mean, Optic's first game back with Pred is going to be against FaZe.
So that's going to be a series. Yeah, that's going to be a big one to watch. I don't know. Just like esports is
It's gonna be massive.
definitely going good right now.
I just want
that
to.
football's
My
over.
thing about Thieves playing against Falcons is I really want to see. I want to see somebody get 250 to 0 in hardpoint.
I think that would be the match.
Thieves almost did that during the event. They went up 148 to nothing on Ravens before Ravens got a point.
Damn. Now they just got to go all the way.
I don't know if they'd go that hard against Falcons, but I think it would be doable.
I think
if they went 148 to nothing against Ravens, I think that there's a chance.
I think so too. I think I hope this, major section proves just as interesting to watch as the last one. Like if not even more interesting. I want to see upsets. I want to see people doing things that we didn't think they were going to be able to do.
I'll be interested to see how Optic comes back with Pred.
Yeah.
I just want at some point for Thieves to reverse their current record that they have, because right now the Thieves are the unfortunate recipient of being the team that has gotten beaten the worst in hardpoint in CDL history, because Ultra in Cold War beat them 250 to 14.
Whew. Well,
I think it'd be funny if
it's gonna be hard to beat.
Smash somebody.
Yeah, be like, all right, that may have been us, but that was a different us. This is the new us.
I think it would be funny if they came back to end up being on the opposite side of that. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they could do it with some of the performances they can put up in Respawn. They honestly, like, when Thieves are on it, I think they're the best Respawn team in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm ready to watch some Call of Duty. I love me some Call of Duty. I played a little bit today. Get back into it. But I don't know. One thing though, I'm gonna talk about this real quick because I feel like it's important-ish. So with the rise of so I've been playing Marvel Rivals, right? My school team, I'm the team captain as of right now, tentative team captain until we can vote somebody else in. And I've been playing the game, and I really enjoy it. I'm having a really good time playing. I started out on keyboard and mouse. You gotta get into it ASAP. I started off at keyboard and mouse because that's just how I usually start games on PC now, unless it's COD. But I was really bad. And so I switched over to a controller and I got way better. And now I'm one of the best Venoms I've ever seen. That's a lie, but I'm better than I was. By a lot. So don't mess with me, alright, when you see me as Venom, because I'm coming for you. But so I really do enjoy the game, and I do believe that the hype is well warranted. I think the hype is well warranted for that game. I will officially say it. It is a lot like Valorant. Not Valorant. Overwatch. That's the one I was looking for. It's a lot like Overwatch. It's more of the mechanics. There's even a couple characters that I'm like, this is pretty similar to an Overwatch character in the way that this Overwatch character operates. But I'm gonna give you this one. But I really do like it, and it really ties into the Marvel storyline a lot, and it's a really chill game, and I think it's going to do really well competitively.
Yeah, I mean, considering the devs play those kind of games competitively, and they are really good at the game, I think they understand how the game should play competitively, and they will probably line with the competitive players pretty well. So I think that at least the support for competitive is going to be sick for that game.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think it's going to have a good longevity. I think it's definitely one of those going to quickly rise to be one of the top 20, top 10 esports ever. I'll confidently say that. Top 20 is confident. Top 10 is best case scenario. Top 20 is pretty confident. Just because I feel like they're doing a lot with it. There's a lot of different aspects around it. It has that element, that storyline, that Marvel storyline that a lot of people know. And listen, Marvel fans are diehards. Know every little thing about every little thing. and I think this is something they could really like be beneficial for both sides of the Marvel franchise. Not only the game aspect, but like the comic books and the movies, just so people can learn more lore. Because you know, gamers when they when they want to know the lore, they find the lore. Yeah, it's like their thing.
I mean, like I know, like I've heard before that a lot of people would want a Marvel like fighting game that was kind of like Mortal Kombat but Marvel. But I think Marvel Rivals is even better
I
in
agree.
terms of like a game.
It gives like more capabilities to like powers and stuff like that, and what people can do with their powers, like, and then there's like the different like team up. So there's like a team up option. So where if you pick like either two or three of the characters from the same universe, or, like the same like movie, it'll like add like extra power ups for all of those characters. So say you pick like Penny Parker, Spider-Man, and Venom on your team. There's like a special power up you get. Like you like.
Which is really cool because like then that like changes up the gameplay.
Yeah, because then you like have like an extra ability based off of what you already had. And there's some really interesting composition, like team compositions that make it really interesting. There's just so much versatility to it. I don't know. I think it's a great game. I think they did a really good job with it. I can understand why people are so obsessed with it now. It's kind of why I was waiting off on playing it, because I didn't want to get obsessed with the game, because I've got other things I got to do and play.
I mean, speaking of you possibly getting obsessed with the game,
dude, Dead by Daylight, first time playing.
Yeah, how did you enjoy playing that?
I really like it. I think once I play like a little bit more and get a little bit more grasp, because right now I'm kind of not really strategizing. I'm just kind of doing, I'm like, by the end of their stream on Saturday, I was finally like, like, okay, I'm just gonna like do generators now. And before I was just kind of running around trying not to die.
I mean, but that's how it is like in the beginning. Like,
yeah.
No. DVD takes a lot longer to like start to understand it than most.
So I was just kind of running around trying not to die, not really understanding, but as we played, I was like, okay, I gotta bang out these generators, gotta do some things. I was making some plays. I made a couple good plays where I sacrificed myself for the good of the many so we could get out of there.
I just thought it was really funny, like in the first couple games, and you were just crouching around everywhere.
Yeah, that was
like I remember like we played against a nurse, and I was like, and she was chasing me, and then like I go down, and I was like, I wonder where Tone is. I hope this didn't put Tone in a bad spot. And I just see you just along the outside of the map, just crouch walking. I just the way she picked me up, it turned me around perfectly to be staring at you, crouch walking right next to me.
Yeah, that was me. Most of the first couple of games, I was like, I gotta crouch. I can't let these people see me. I gotta hide. I gotta be a little sneaky sneak. But I feel like as I got more of my bearings, I still have no idea how any of the perks or any of that stuff works. But I think that's something I'll master later on once I get. I've got a pretty.
There are only like 150 of them for Survivor.
Oh, cool. I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on like the play of the game. Like not like I'm not gonna say like I'm great or anything, but I understand kind of like the objective now. Before I did not understand the objective at all. If I'm gonna be completely honest, it was like watching like
you were just watching me play, and you were like, oh, he's just
doing stuff
around with a killer.
Yeah. So I was like, it's like watching a movie. So like me watching you guys play DVD, it was like watching a movie in like a foreign language, like that I don't speak at all. Like I don't speak Mandarin, so like movie completely in Mandarin, no subtitles. It's like I can see what's happening, but I have no idea what's going on. No idea. So.
Well, you're in luck because today we're gonna be playing 2v8.
Oh. Today I will be like, I'm on the grind today behind the scenes. Unfortunately, I have like so much homework to do and so much video shit to do. Oh, it's because I was working on the ladder episode 7, which is coming out at 2 p.m. today. Yeah, but yeah, so now I understand. I had a great time playing. No, I do think that's a great game. I understand the hype now. I was a little skeptical before, I'm not gonna lie, but after playing, I had a really great time. So thank you to you, Deception, and to you, Hugs, for walking me through, and for Derby for joining in on the fun as well. It was a good time.
I've
it was
never played a game like that before, where it's like you're trying to survive against a killer, and it's like and all that. But it's a great game.
Yeah, I love
most
it.
Of the time.
I think it's a great game. Definitely one I'm gonna be playing a little bit more. But it was a great way to celebrate 1 year of Scorpion Syndicate. I mean, I love this organization. We all love this organization, and we were just trying to like have a good time and celebrate. And I think we accomplished that. We're two followers away from 50. Where I get a whipped cream pie to my face. So I would get on that if I were you guys. Just saying. Hopefully, I'm not wearing good clothes when that happens. But
well, that's on you if you are.
Yeah, that's on me. That is on me. But yeah, I don't know. I had a really good time, and thank you guys all again for a year of Scorpion Syndicate. This has been an amazing year. We had a lot of content around it. I even did a presentation this morning actually on Scorpion Syndicate from my entrepreneurship class, and it's my second time presenting it in front of this professor, and he said I have improved greatly since the first time I presented it, so that's good. But yeah, I mean that's all I've got today. What about you, Deception? Anything else you want to talk about? Bro. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Climb Together podcast. I've been your host Tony, here with my co-host Deception. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys follow us on Twitch where we stream this live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST. And then like the video on YouTube and subscribe because this goes live on YouTube at 4 p.m. EST every single day that we do these every week, one Wednesday. Man, I'm joking. Oh, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.